Hi besties, welcome once again to my channel. This is Tabatasa channel. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to cut and sew this cowl neck A-line gown with a snatched waistline. So let's get right into the video. So I'll be using this crepe material to cut out this side. Initially I was supposed to use a Duchess fabric, but I couldn't find it, so I used this one, and the material is so good and it's even shaking. So yeah, I used make sure you use 3 yards. 3 yards is enough. So I'll be marking the length of this gown, so I don't want mine to be too long, and I used about 55 inches for the length. But if you want yours longer, you can actually use more, 60, and then you are going to fold it the other way around, not the normal way we fold our fabrics. So guys, in this place I actually made a mistake, but I later corrected it. You're supposed to mark the full length of your dress, yeah, then you're going to leave extra inches at the top, because you know this is a cowl neck, because we'll be cutting the back and the front together. I don't know if you understand, but if you don't understand, just leave your questions in the comment section and I'll be replying each and every questions. Okay, so at the starting line I'm going to mark my shoulder measurements. Yeah, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurements, and I'll be coming down by 1 inches from my shoulder slope. So ensure to always pin your fabric down, because this fabric is super hard to work with because it's always shaky, you know. So yeah, I'm going to mark my neck width, and I'm marking 3.5 for the neck width, and I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. I'm actually marking the back of this dress first before I go ahead to do the front. Yeah, so this is me just confirming if it's accurate, and then I'm going to be marking the 1.5 like I said earlier. So yeah, my chalk actually finished, so I had to use this crayon. You know, I couldn't get a chalk, so I had to use what I have. So after marking this, now you're going to connect your shoulder stop like so on your fabric. I really hope you guys are following. So we're going to mark out our armhole for this dress, and we'll be using our bust measurement divided by 6, and we're going to be adding extra 1.5 and mark it down. So now the same shoulder measurement, we're also going to mark it. This is just to give us that straight line, yeah, like so, because you know we're not drafting this on a pattern paper. And then I'm just going to connect it like this, so now you can see now. And we're also going to extend the lines. I'm sorry it wasn't visible while I was recording this, but I'm going to be showing you guys afterwards. And like I said, this is how the line looks. Yeah, so I actually marked out the lines here, and now on this straight line we're going to place our tape on it, and then we're going to be dividing it by 2. Whatever you have there, just divide it by 2, and we're going to come in by 0.5, and we're going to connect it just like the normal way we connect our armhole on our pattern paper. It's the same way we're also going to be doing it on this our fabric. So when you come in by 0.5, you are going to connect, yeah. And I'm also going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 on this my chest line, because that line is actually called the chest line now, and I'm going to connect it like this. I'm not going to be using my pattern rule for most part of this tutorial because the material is very shaky. I don't know, it's very shaky, so one little mistake and then everything is ruined. So guys, I proceeded to mark my other lines. I marked from the shoulder line to my waistline, and mine is 15.5. Whichever one yours is, just mark it down. You'll place your tape at the starting line, and then that's how you get it. So after marking your shoulder to your waistline, I marked my shoulder to my hip line. So please ignore the first line. I actually used 23, but I later changed my mind and I used 25 for my shoulder to my hip line. And mind you, this dress is not for me, yeah, so I'm just trying to work with the person's measurements. So from that my hip line, I came down by extra 8 inches for my knee, yeah, for my knee line. So I just counted 8 and then I marked it. So that is under your hip line. You are going to come downwards by 8 inches, and that is our knee. So there is no need for us to mark our full length again, because we have already marked that earlier on when we actually started the video, because that was the first thing we marked. So I hope we understand how we've gotten all the lines now. So now let's proceed to the next step. So now we were going to start imputing our body measurement, and then my bust measurement divided by 4. You are going to mark it down, and then we'll be adding extra 2 inches because this gown is not a fitted gown. The only place that is fitted is the waist, which is snatched. So yeah, this is it. You are going to mark your bust measurement divided by 4, and then we move to our waist, and you are going to mark your waist measurement divided by 4, and you are going to add the extra 2 inches allowance. You do the same thing for your hip as well. Your hip measurement divided by 4, you add extra 2 inches, guys. Yeah, and I went ahead to connect from my bust to my waistline like so. And like I said earlier, you are going to place your hip measurements. You are going to mark it on your hip line, your hip measurement divided by 4, and you're also going to add the same extra 2 inches for allowance. Then, so besties, I went ahead to connect my waist to my hip. As you can see, the curve is already coming out well, and I measured what I have on my waist, and I placed it on my knee line. Yeah, I had 10 and I placed it on my knee line, and I added only 1 inch for allowance. Yes, please note that whatever you have on your waistline, you are going to place it on your knee line, and then you are going to add only 1 inch for allowance, and you're also going to connect it like so. As you can see, it's already coming out well. So now we move to the full length of the dress, the full length line. On this full length line, I'm going to be marking 15 inches. Yes, because I don't want mine to be too, should I say, too A-line or too wide. So, but if you're a plus size person, I advise you use up to 18 as the wideness, because yeah, it's going to give you a very good that A-line effect. So I'm going to connect it to my knee line like so, and it's already giving that A-line effect, and I'm going to be showing you guys when I'm done marking. Yeah, so this is it. You're going to connect it all the way to the knee line, and voila, we are done with the back of this dress. And this is how it's looking. The lines, as you can see, it's already coming out well. So now let's move on to the front part of this our dress. Please, let's kindly pay attention to this part. So to avoid wasting fabric, I decided to cut an interfacing. I used a very see-through lining, and then I traced it out. What I have from this my chest line at this upper part, my armhole, my neck, shoulder slope, I just traced it out, and yeah, I cut it out like this. So you can use a very transparent paper, something that is not very thick, a see-through, so that you can actually trace it out and then you cut it out. So we are going to be using this now to get that cowl neckline effect for the front, because remember that we are cutting this together. Yeah, and I want to cut it together. I don't want to cut it separately because I don't want to waste my fabric. So you can see at the top of this my fabric, at the top of this fabric, you can see that there's space there. Yeah, so that was what I was trying to explain at the beginning of this video, that you need to leave you need to mark the full length of the dress first, not start from the starting line. So I use 7 inches wideness for this cowl neckline. I advise you don't use something higher than 7 inches, except you want your cleavage to be exposed. You can also use 6 inches or 6.5. So after I marked that 7 inches I wanted, I pinned it down. I pinned this my lining, my see-through lining down like so. So guys, this is it. I hope you understand. You are going to pin from this armhole here. You are also going to pin the part that we marked the 7 inches. Yes, so I actually added extra pin because mine wasn't getting to the actual armhole, so I just added little to extend it, guys. So let's move to the next part, and this is how it's looking. I'm just going to explain it again for so you guys can understand. You are going to use 7 inches for the cowl neckline effect. Yes, do not use anything more than that if you don't want your cleavage exposed. Yes, you can also use 6 inches or 6.5 depending on how deep you want your cowl neckline to be. So now we are going to be tracing this our template. Yeah, we're going to be tracing it now, and yeah, I'm going to be using this my pattern rule to achieve that. So you are just going to connect it like so. From that neck width, you are going to connect it to the center fold of this fabric like so. So make sure that your pattern rule is actually straight, because you don't want it bent, otherwise it's going to come out not very fine at all. So this is it. I have actually traced a straight line to the center fold of this my fabric, and I'm going to go ahead now to trace the other part of this templates. Yeah, I'm just going to pin this because this fabric, like I said, is very shaky. Yeah, so I'm going to trace it now. I'm going to trace this other part, the shoulder stance area, the armhole line area, like so. I'm going to trace every part of this template so that we can cut out the front piece of this outfit first. So guys, I'm done tracing it out, so we are going to unpin it now, and I'm going to show you guys how it looks like before I cut it out. This is how yours should be looking like if you did it correctly, like you follow the instructions. So I'm going to start cutting now. We are going to be cutting the front first so that it doesn't affect the back. Please do not make the mistake of cutting the back first, otherwise you've ruined your material. So we are going to be cutting the front first, and yeah, I'll just show you guys the process. So you see, try to pay attention where I am cutting so that you don't make a mistake. Yeah. Besties, we are done cutting out the front piece of this outfit, and I'm going to be taking the inner one out, and that is going to serve as the front piece of this our outfit. Yeah, so we're almost done with this cutting process of this gown, and now we are going to cut out the back piece as well. So besties, this is how the front neckline is looking, and I'm going to be showing you guys the cowl neck effects before we actually proceed. So this is how it's going to look. This is the cowl neckline effect. This is how the front is going to look like. Yeah, so I am going to be needing an interfacing for this. Sorry, a facing rather, not interfacing. I actually used the Duchess silk as the interfacing because I was actually managing my material. I wanted to recreate something else, and I didn't want to use the main material for the facing. So yeah, I also cut out facing for the back as well, and I'm going to be stitching this with 1/2 inch. So this is it after I have stitched it, and I also give it a good press. Please always make sure to iron while you are sewing. It actually makes your work very neat. Yeah, so this is the back piece. As you can see, it's flat at the back. You can actually go ahead to stitch it at the right side to keep it in place, but I didn't stitch mine because I'm going to be using hemi gum later on. And this is the front neckline, guys. So now I'm going to be joining the shoulders of this dress together, and just watch how I'm going to be doing an inseam shoulder joining, not the normal shoulder joining, because that's very rough. So make sure the joining line is facing each joining line, right side facing right side, and then you are going to stitch using 1/2 inch, guys, and I'll be right back to show you guys how it looks like. So this is it. This is the front, the outward, and the inner, which is the inside of the dress, is also knit as well, and I'm going to be trimming out the excess because it's not supposed to be so. So this is the cowl neck inset. So yeah, I'm just trying to arrange it before I go ahead to give it a very good press. 1 second. So this is it. Now I'm going to be flipping over to the wrong side because I want to join both the back and the front piece now together. But before I did that, I went ahead to use my pins to hold it down because the material is shaking. Yeah, it's not really firm. Yeah, so this facing, you can actually weave it and then use any gum to hold it in place. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to weave it and use hemi gum. So before that, we are going to be creating our loops for the back. This gown doesn't have a zipper, so we are going to be using loops for it. So the length of this, I actually used length 20 for the length of this piece. Yeah, and the wideness is about 1.5. So I'm going to be showing you how you're going to fold it now and stitch. So you're going to fold it together like this, and then after folding it, you are going to also fold it once again, and then you are going to top stitch all through and make sure it's very neat. Yeah, so this is it. After I have stitched, I also went ahead to press it down to make it straight. And now we are going to start creating our loops for this dress. So I used the length of 4 inches, yeah, for my loop. So I'm going to use 4 inches. So when I cut the first one, I'm going to use the first one I cut to cut the others. I created 4 loops for this dress because that's what I want, and you can actually do more if you want. You can do up to even 6 if you want, but for me 4 is okay. So I used 4. I cut out 4 like this. So now let me show you how you are going to be attaching this loop to your dress, guys. So this is it, and now I'm going to, from the shoulder of my dress, I marked out my waistline, which I said is 15.5, right? So I placed my tape on the shoulder of my dress, and I came down by the 15.5, and I marked it out on my dress so that I can know where to place my loop. So this is me just trying to mark it out. My chalk is really so small. I'm just trying to manage it because that crayon is too obvious and I don't like it. So you're going to place your loop on this area we marked our waistline. You're going to place your loop and you pin it in place. You're going to do the same thing for the other side of the fabric. Place your loop at that mark we made there. So to hold it in place, use your pin to actually hold it in place, and make sure that you are placing the loops at the right side. Don't place it outward, place it inside, so that when you stitch, the rough side is going to be inside the dress. I hope we understand. So after doing that, on this the waistline I marked earlier, I'm going to come up by 1 inch on both sides. I'm going to come up by 1 inch. I also do the same thing for the other side, and I'm going to place my third loop on that mark I made, exactly on that mark. I'm going to place it, and I'm going to use my pin to hold it in place. And I also did the same thing for the other side. I came up by 1 inch and also placed my loop inside. So now we're going to be stitching this dress with 1 inch. We are going to be stitching it with 1 inch, so make sure to follow it. So at this point, I have already stitched my dress with my with the 1 inch I stated earlier, and on this my neckline we are going to be notching it so that when we want to iron, that place is not going to be looking buggy, or it's not going to be buggy. It's going to relax, it's going to come out well. So that is the main reason I'm notching the knee line, the knee area of this dress. So just give it a small notch. Just give it a small notch and you are good to go. So if you've watched to this extent, please like and subscribe, please comment, please share. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit on the notification button so that when we post new videos, you're going to be the first to get notified. So this is our dress. As you can see, the loops, we've created the loops, and this is how it's looking. And now it's time for us to create our sleeve. So I'm going to be measuring my armhole of my dress, and I have 10. I'm going to be using this now to cut out my sleeve. And mind you, the sleeve for this dress is actually a bell sleeve, not the regular sleeve. So I folded my material into 2 at first, and then I marked my starting line like so. At this point, my chalk cut finished. It was actually very little, so I came down by 4.5. You can use 4, but I actually did 4.5 and I marked it out like so. So I'm going to be marking the 10 inches we marked on for the armhole of our dress. I'm going to be marking it on the line, on the 4.5 line I came down with, and I'm going to be extending it to the center fold of my fabric like so. I'm going to be slatting it. I'm supposed to use my pattern roll for this, but this material now you can't, so I had to use freehand. And then I placed my tape on that slanted line and I divided it by 2 and I made a mark like so. I made a mark there. I'm just trying to manage my chalk at this point because I didn't want to use the crayon anymore. So this is it. I'm going to connect it using half an inch upward like so to the center fold of this fabric. So this is when my chalk got finished. So I had to use my crayon again. What choice do I have? So I connected it, the cap sleeve to the center fold, and I came down by ½ inch, and then I also connected it downwards to that armhole we just marked. So don't forget to add 1 inch allowance for this, don't forget. And I extended the line like so, and then this is it. I'm going to be taking the full length of this my sleeve. I used length 25. You can use 26 or 27, but I don't want mine too long. I want my hands to be visible, so I used 25 inches as the length of this nice sleeve. And for the wideness, I used 11 inches, guys. So you can use more or you can use less than that, but make sure you don't use, I don't think anyone should use something lesser than 10 or 9, because it's not really going to be belling, because it's a bell sleeve. So I just at this point I was already done drafting my sleeve, and I went ahead to cut. After this, I'm going to be cutting the second sleeve, and then we are going to attach it to our dress, the middle of my sleeve. So we are going to be stitching it, the hem of the sleeve. I'm going to be stitching it, and I'll be right back to show you guys. So this is my sleeve after I've stitched it. I also went ahead to sew the sleeves, to join the sleeves together. So I'll just be attaching it to the armhole of my dress now. At this point, I've already attached my bell sleeve to the armhole of my dress. I also went ahead to hem the down of my dress as well. If you've watched to this extent, don't forget to hit on the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification button so that you get notified when we post new tutorials. So now we're going to be creating our strap. Yeah, that is the lace we are going to use to lace the back of this dress. And the length of this strap is 60 inches. Yeah, you can use more if you are a plus size. And the wideness of this is 2 inches, but I advise you use 1.5 because mine turned out to be too wide. But yeah, it was still okay, but I prefer you use 1.5 inches. Now this is it after I stitched it down. You can see even the ends are neat as well. So this is how my strap is looking. I wanted to give it a good press. Besties, we are officially done with this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section, and I promise to reply each and every single one. Thank you so much, and don't forget to tell me in the comment section where you are watching from. If you have any question, please kindly let me know in the comment section as well. So this is how the gown turned out. It's so beautiful. You can wear it to church, to any occasion. Yeah, this dress is a go-to dress, and it's so beautiful. I did a lot of videos and I wanted to show you guys the results of this dress. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit on the like and subscribe button.